Embracing Simplicity, Thoreau's Guide to Modern Minimalism. In a world where we often feel overwhelmed by the clutter of our possessions, relationships, and commitments, it can be incredibly liberating to look back at the wisdom of Henry David Thoreau. In his book, Walden, Thoreau offers a profound guide to embracing simplicity, a concept that remains as relevant today as it was over a century ago. Let me tell you this: if you're tired of the constant hustle and bustle, longing for a more serene existence, then Thoreau's Guide to Modern Minimalism is a beacon of hope and inspiration. You might be wondering, how can a man who lived in a cabin in the woods offer guidance for us in the digital age? Here's something you should know. Thoreau's principles are not about reducing everything to nothingness, but about refining your life to its essentials. Imagine yourself sitting in a bustling city cafe, surrounded by screens, notifications, and conversations. Your mind feels weighed down by the constant stream of information. Now, think about a simpler time when you could sit quietly in a park, watch the clouds drift by, and listen to the sounds of nature. This is exactly what Thoreau did, living in a small cabin in Walden Pond, where he found peace amidst the chaos of civilization. He famously said, "In wildness is the preservation of the world." Here's the thing: Thoreau didn't live in isolation, but he did find solace in the simplicity of nature and solitude, which allowed him to reflect deeply and gain clarity. So let me tell you this: simplicity isn't about stripping away all the things that make life meaningful. It's about making those things meaningful again. Think about your own life. Are there areas where you feel weighed down by too many possessions, commitments, or distractions? Have you ever felt like you're running in circles instead of moving forward? Thoreau's advice is a reminder that sometimes we need to slow down and focus on what truly matters. Here's a personal anecdote. I once found myself drowning in emails, meetings, and endless tasks. It felt like I was perpetually behind and never catching up. One day, I decided to take a step back and evaluate my priorities. I started decluttering my digital space, setting boundaries around my work hours, and prioritizing face-to-face interactions. The difference was remarkable. I felt more focused, less stressed, and had more energy to tackle challenges head-on. Here's something you should know. Thoreau wasn't advocating for minimalism as a lifestyle change, but for mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present, aware, and intentional in every moment. By simplifying our lives, we become more mindful, which enhances our overall well-being. Thoreau's Guide to Modern Minimalism also emphasizes the importance of spending time in nature. He believed that immersion in natural settings helps us reconnect with our inner selves and find peace. In today's fast-paced world, where technology dominates our lives, it's easy to lose touch with the beauty and tranquility of the natural world. However, Thoreau's advice is still relevant. Take a moment to close your eyes and imagine a serene forest path under a clear blue sky. That peaceful feeling is a reminder of what we're missing in our daily lives. Here's a lesson from Thoreau. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, take a break and immerse yourself in nature. Whether it's a short walk in a local park or a longer trip to a national park, nature has the power to rejuvenate and inspire. Personally, I've found that taking regular breaks to spend time in nature has been instrumental in maintaining my mental health. It's a reminder that simplicity isn't about deprivation, but about finding balance and harmony. Another key principle from Thoreau's Guide to Modern Minimalism is the importance of reflection. He believed that introspection is essential for personal growth and self-discovery. Today, we're constantly bombarded with information and distractions, making it challenging to pause and reflect. But Thoreau's advice is timeless. Take the time to pause, assess your choices, and ask yourself what truly matters. Here's a personal example. I used to struggle with perfectionism and always felt like I needed to have all the answers. Thoreau's teachings helped me realize that perfectionism isn't sustainable and can lead to burnout. Instead, I learned to embrace imperfection and focus on progress rather than outcomes. This shift in mindset has made me more resilient and better equipped to handle challenges. So here's something you should know. Thoreau's Guide to Modern Minimalism is not just about simplifying your physical environment, but also about simplifying your thoughts and actions. It's about cultivating a more mindful and intentional way of living. Thoreau's philosophy also highlights the value of community and connection. He believed that true simplicity comes from within, but it's also nourished by meaningful relationships. In today's increasingly isolated society, it's crucial to prioritize connections and community. Thoreau wrote, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation." While we may not live in a cabin in the woods, we can still foster meaningful connections in our daily lives. Here's a lesson from Thoreau. Find ways to connect with others authentically. Whether it's through shared hobbies, volunteering, or simply having meaningful conversations, building strong relationships is vital for our emotional and psychological well-being. Personally, I've found that joining a local book club or attending community events has enriched my life in countless ways. It's a reminder that even in a world full of distractions, we can still create meaningful connections and find joy in simple acts of kindness. In conclusion, Thoreau's Guide to Modern Minimalism is a powerful reminder that simplicity is not about deprivation, but about finding balance and harmony. It's about pausing, reflecting, and connecting with others. Embracing these principles can help us lead more fulfilling and meaningful lives. So, here's something you should do right now. Take a few moments to reflect on your current life and identify areas where you might benefit from simplifying. Whether it's decluttering your physical space, spending more time in nature, or fostering deeper connections with others, each step towards simplicity brings you closer to a more authentic and joyful existence. Remember, Thoreau's legacy is not just about living in a small cabin in the woods, but about living a life that is both simple and meaningful.